Investigations moving forward in yesterday's concert attack in Manchester. Authorities have identified the suicide bomber as 22-year-old Salman Abedi, a man who is believed to have been part of a larger terror network. Investigators say he waited for the Ariana Grande concert to end before detonating explosives, killing nearly 24 people, wounding more than 100 others. The threat level in the UK has just been raised from severe to critical, meaning it's believed that an attack is imminent. Now, the blast yesterday sparks questions about the safety of large-scale events.
There are already plans to beef up security in busy areas like New York City. But what about here at home? John Shumway joins us live now with more on what local venues are doing. John.
Yeah, and you have to remember there is the possibility, we don't want to see it, but there could be a Game 7 here on Thursday night. The Pirates are in town this weekend with games at PNC Park. We're going into the summer concert season where we're going to have things out at the KeyBank Pavilion as well as at Heinz Field. So even though Manchester may be on the other side of the ocean, what happened there is very much top of mind here.
At all our public venues, we pass through some form of security. Security that seems to notch up a bit every time the world gets hit by an attack on innocence.
Oh my God.
Those attacks are essentially random. They're impossible to predict.
Former FBI agent, terrorism and security expert, and professor at La Roche College, Larry Likar, does not have words of reassurance about preventing an incident like last night's suicide bomber.
Actually, you can't. It's the idea that you can stop an attack, especially if someone's decided that their own life means nothing. The ability to prevent it completely is almost impossible.
Dennis Lajak's Black Knight Security says the local venues do a pretty good job securing their facilities, but last night's attack and others have been outside the security perimeter.
The challenge is, exactly how far out are you going to push the perimeter around these areas, and you're talking about public space.
The further out the security measures go, like shutting down streets and screenings.
Yeah, the more costly it gets, and then also the more disruptive it gets to just the everyday life of that area.
That's not to say ignore the carnage of last night.
I feel like we should never stop trying to be safe. I feel like we should learn every single day and try to get better every day. So to answer your question, I say, yeah, it's worth doing. If we're talking about the safety of our citizens, we should always try to be safer.
Likar says further tightening of security would be a disruption for the rarest of rare possibilities.
We do want to feel safe. It just, there has to be a balance. We also don't want to get to the point where we become terrified to move around in our society, because that's what terrorism is all about.
That is true. However, there's also the reality of these large events coming up. And the management here at PPG Paints Arena, AEG, said in a statement at least a little while ago that they have consulted with local authorities to review security measures, and our staff remains vigilant. I also talked with the city public safety director today, and he says that they are going to be beefing up security here at PPG Paints Arena for the next event. And obviously, they'll be looking at other events in town. The Steelers say, as always, they review their security on a regular basis, and if changes are needed, they'll make them to keep people safe. Much more coming up at 6 o'clock. For now, live at the PPG Paints Arena, John Shumway, KDKA-TV News.